try. So in that inner try block, there is no corresponding catch block, then that type of exceptions are handled by that outer catch block. Okay, so in inner try block, if any exception is occurred, and if there is no corresponding catch block in that inner try block, then that can be handled by outer catch block. Okay, so you can enclose a call to a method within try block. So you can also call a method, you can call the method within try block. Inside that method is another try statement. So inside that method definition, if you are having another try block means, then that is also considered as a nested try. So in this case, the try within the method is still nested inside the outer try block, so which calls the method. That means within try block, if you are calling any method and that method definitions have another try block means, that is also considered as nested try. That is also considered as nested try. So that in the try block there is no corresponding catch block for that exception means, that can be catched by outer catch block. So we will see one example. Now this is the nested try block example. So here I have one try block. Here I have one try block. So within that I have one more try block. So within that I have one more try block. So this is a nested try block. And then next, wait. Okay, so this is a syntax for nested try statement. Here, I have defined one class called nested try. So within that I have one main function. Okay, so within that I have one try block. So this is the try block, and where it is closed means, here this try block. And then the corresponding catch block is here, and this is the inner try block. So this is the inner try block. Okay, here arg dot length. So here command line arguments length, so that is going to be stored in this variable a, and then next I'm going to print that a. So if the number of command line argument is 0 means, what I will get arithmetic exception. I will get arithmetic exception. So that is catched by this catch block. That is catched by this catch block. If a value is not equal to 0, then it will get into this try block, and then it will check if a value is equal to 1 means, then here a minus a, there is 1 minus 1 0. So again here what exception is occurred means, arithmetic exception is occurred, but this inner try block have only the catch block with the with the array index out of bound exception. So here there is no catch block with the arithmetic exception. So then this exception can be catched by this outer catch block. Then this inner, actually this here the exception is occurred in inner try block, but that inner try block does not have corresponding catch block, then that exception can be handled by outer catch block. So now this arithmetic exception is handled by this outer catch block. And then I'm checking if a value is equal to 2. So number of command line argument value is 2 means, then here I'm going to allocate one integer. Here I have created one integer array, but what is the size of that integer array? Only 1. What is the size of this integer array? What? But I try to store 99 in which index value? I try to store 99 in which index value? 42 index. So what is the maximum index of this array? Here I have stored only one element. So maximum index is 0, C of 0. So but I try to insert 99 at a C of 42. So this is what type of exception? This is array index out of bound exception. So that exception is catched by in the inner catch block itself. So now it will print array index out of bound, and then it will print that array index out of bound exception. Understood, Amma? Understood or not? Inner, nested try statement. Understood or not? Shall I repeat one more time,
Ma'am, can you repeat once, ma'am?
Okay, ma'am. What does mean by nested class or nested structure? If a structure is available in another structure, that is called nested structure. If a nested class means, if a class definition is available within another class definition, that is nested class. So like that, what does mean by nested try means that the try block within another try block means that is called nested try. Okay, so another, and one more thing, if you call any method within try block, so if you call any method, for example, here try, within that I'm going to call one method. Within that I'm going to call one method. So in that method definition also, if I have a try block means, in that method here I'm just calling the method. So in that method definition is also, if I'm having a try block means, that is also called as nested try block. Okay, so within this try catch block I'm calling this method. Within this method definition, if I am having one more try block means, that is also called as nested try block. So we will see example one by one. Now here, this try, this try is started here, and the corresponding catch for that try block is this one. So this is the outer try block. Okay, so this is the outer try block. So within this try block, I have defined one more try block. Within this, I have defined one more try block. Okay, so this try block is within this try block. So that's why it is within this try block. So this try block is inside of this try block is inside of this try block. So that's why it is called nested try statement. Okay, so in that inner try block, if any exception is occurred, but there is no corresponding catch block in this inner try block, then that can be handled by outer catch block. That can be handled by outer catch block. So here I will show you an example. This is a command line argument. Okay, so when I am execute the program, that time I will pass some argument. So that is called a command line argument. So if command line argument value arg.length means, that is the number of command line arguments. So this will return the number of command line arguments. So if a value is 0 means, if a value is 0 means 42 by a, what I will get now? I will get 0. Now this statement is available in the outer try block. The statement is available in the outer try block. So now this cannot be catched by inner try block. Even in that inner try block, if I have a catch statement, arithmetic exception. Actually, in that inner catch block, I don't have arithmetic exception. But for example, in the inner try block also, if I have a catch arithmetic exception, that won't be executed for this statement, because this statement is available at the outside of the outer try block. So then this exception is only catched by that outer catch block. Okay, so now it is catch. Now this catch block is catch this, and then it will print divide by 0, and then it will print arithmetic. While I'm printing this object, it will print arithmetic exception. Okay, and next it will get to this inner try block, and then it will check if there is if a value is not equal to 0 means, so now the statement is perfectly executed. It won't throw any exception. Okay, so then this statement, the inner try statement, is going to be executed. So now it will check the number of command line argument is equal to 1. If it is equal to 1, so then this statement is executed. So now 1 minus 1, what will happen? 0. So again, what will happen? Divide by 0. That is an arithmetic exception. But this exception is occurred within inner try block. But in inner try block, I have only one catch block. That catch block is also with array index out of bound exception. But here, what exception is occurred? Arithmetic exception is occurred. So in that inner try block, I don't have catch block with arithmetic exception. So then this exception is handled by this outer catch block. Then this exception is handled by outer catch block. Now, if a number of arguments value is not equal to 1, if number of argument value is not equal to 1, so then this statement is also perfectly executed. It won't show any exception. So then this statement is executed. So now it will check the number of arguments value is equal to 2. So if it is equal to 2 means, here what I have created, I have created one integer array, but that integer array size is only 1. So only I can store element at the index value C of 0. But here I try to store the 99 and index value 42. So what is the maximum size of the C? Here I have stored only one element, so the size of the C is only 1. So C of 0 only available possible. But here I try to access a C of 42. So then this is an array index out of bound exception. So here one exception is occurred. So that is for that exception, the inner try block itself, I have a corresponding catch block. So that will be executed. So now it will print array index out of bound, and then it will print array index out of bound exception. Now understood, Amma? Say yes or no?
Okay, ma'am.
Ma'am?
Tell me, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
If A is 2, then in int B, we'll get 12, no ma'am. We'll get 21, no ma'am.
If A is 2 means, where, ma'am?
B value will store 21, no ma'am.
Yes, ma'am, yes, sir. But I am not doing that.
Then there is no arithmetic exception, no ma'am. It will not.
There is no arithmetic exception.
Okay.
Here I try to manually create an arithmetic exception and array index out of. Actually, this program is meaningless. But here I try to create some types of exception.
Okay, ma'am.
If A value is 2 means there is no exception in the statement. And then it won't create any exception in the statement also. It will create exception only in the statement. Okay, va?
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
Okay, va?
Ma'am,
Tell me, ma'am. Tell me.
if you interchange the catch blocks, means we will get error, ma'am.
No, we won't get any error. We won't get error, ma'am. Here, your question is here arithmetic exception and here array index out of bound exception means yes, yeah, definitely, because my error, we will get an error. Actually, we won't get error. This is handled by Java runtime system, Java virtual machine, ma. This is an exception, not an error. So your question is good, ma. Here, instead of array index out of bound exception, if I am having arithmetic exception here, ma, this cannot be handled by inner catch block, ma. Understood? Or I erase everything. Here, what his question means, instead of array index out of bound exception, if I am having arithmetic exception, and then instead of arithmetic exception, here I am having array index out of bound exception means, this outer, if any exception is occurred in the outer try block, that cannot be catched by inner catch block. Got it or not? Actually, here arithmetic exception is occurred, and this catch block type is arithmetic exception. If any exception is occurred in the outer try block, that cannot be catched by inner try catch block. That cannot be handled by inner try catch block. But here arithmetic exception, but here the catch block type is array index out of bound exception, that it cannot be handled. So this is handled by Java runtime system. So abnormal termination will be happen, ma. Got it up? Say yes or no, pa?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
And then, pa, within main method, I'm going to call one method, ma. Within one main method, I'm going to call one method. So that calling method is within try block. That calling method is within try block. And then in this definition, so this in this method definition also I have one try block, ma. Okay, so this is also called as nested try. So this is also called as nested try. And now, when I call this function, control will come to this definition. No, control will come to this definition, and then here divide by 0. So this will create arithmetic exception, but this try block does not have catch block arithmetic exception. Okay, with arithmetic exception. So now this can be handled by outer catch block. No, so now for this one, which is considered as outer catch, this is considered as outer catch. So now this is handled by this one. Okay, Papa, got it, Amatma? And then in this method itself, if I am having any array index out of bound exception, that is handled by this catch block. Understood, Anatpa?
Ma'am?
Tell me, ma'am.
Ma'am, can a user define the exception in a program?
We can create our own exception that we will see later. We can also create our own exception.
Okay, ma'am.
So now nested try that you understood, Appa? Nested try. No doubt in nested try, no? Shall I move to next topic, pa? Anybody have doubt in this nested try? Yes or no, pa? Anybody have doubt, pa?
No, ma'am.
Okay. And next, we will see, totally 5 keywords are used in try catch block, no? So totally 5 keywords are used in exception handling. So try, catch, final, and this throw, throw and throws. Okay, so now we will see about this throw. So if you want to, already we have seen this throw keyword in several programs. So what is the purpose of this throw means to, if you want to throw the exception manually. If you want to throw the exception manually means some statement automatically throw the exception. So here, this statement and all automatically throw the arithmetic exception. And also you can manually throw the exception. So in that previous example, we have seen, so here I have created object for arithmetic exception and manually I am throwing that exception. Manually I am throwing that exception. So if you want to throw manually any exception, you can use the keyword throw. Okay, you can use the keyword throw. So used to explicitly throw an exception. Either that may be a checked exception or maybe an unchecked exception. Okay, so throw and then exception object. Throw, that is a throwable instance, that is a superclass. Throwable is the superclass for all the exceptions. Okay, so throwable instance must be an object of type throwable or subclass of throwable. So subclass are all exception. Okay, so here the throwable is the superclass for all the type of exception and subclasses are exception. So throw new IO exception. So here I am passing some, this is an example. So here I am throwing explicitly one IO exception with the string sorry device error. Okay, and then simple type such as int, char as well as non-throwable classes such as string and object cannot be used as an exception. You cannot throw int type, character type, double type like that. And then exception propagation. So an exception is first thrown from the top of the stack, and if it is not caught, it drops down the call stack to the previous method. If not caught there, the exception again drops down to the previous method, and so on until they are caught or until they reach the very bottom of the call stack. So this is called exception propagation. I have a several method call. In each method call, if I am having a try catch block, so in the first that innermost method call, if the exception is not catched, then it will come to outer. Again, there is in that it is not catched, then it will come to outer. So this is type of thing is called exception propagation. So the exception is first thrown from the top of the stack, and if it is not caught, you drop down the call stack to the previous method. If not caught there, the exception again drops down to the previous method, and so on until they are caught or until they reach the very bottom of the call stack. So this is called exception propagation. And now we will see one example by using a throw. Execution starts from main. Within that, I am calling the one method demo pro. So that is written within try catch block. So that is written within try catch block. So when it is executed, control will come to the definition of that demo pro. Here I am explicitly throwing one exception. Explicitly here I am throwing one exception. So that is a null pointer exception, and with the string demo. So with the string demo, and here immediately in the catch block, in this demo pro function itself, I have a null pointer exception. Okay, so now it is catched by this catch block, and then it will print caught inside demo pro that e dot get message means. So only for this what I am passing now that every exception have several type of constructor. Actually 4 type of constructors are there. So this is one type of constructor. We can pass string as the argument. For this here I am creating an object, so then it will call the constructor. So this will call the constructor with one parameterized this will call one parameterized constructor. The type is string. Okay, so now if I am this is an here one object is created, that object is catched by this e. So when I am printing e dot get message, then I can get that string. I can get the string. So now what it will print? It will print caught inside demo pro. So here I have printed caught inside demo pro. Then I am printing e dot get message. I will get the string when I am passing that string to constructor. Yeah, so now it will print demo. So now it will print the demo. And then again, what I am throwing, again I am rethrowing the same object E. So this E is nothing but null pointer exception. Again, this is catched by this null pointer exception. And then here I am printing recaught, and directly I am printing that object. So object now it will print the whole stack. It will print the description. So Java lang null pointer exception, and also colon demo. That string what I have passed while I am creating that object. The string what I have passed while I am creating that object, that is also printed. If there is no demo, then it will print only Java lang dot null pointer exception. And then here I am calling print stack trace. So now first the exception is occurred at demo pro. After that it will come to main. So that stack trace will be printed. So string get message. So that will return string, and void print stack trace inform about the program stack. Got it, Abba? Understood, Amma? This program you understood? Yes or no, ma?
Ma'am, here we created an object, but we did not name it as E, no, ma'am.
Here, yes, but that is catched by here. What is the meaning of this? Means E equal to new null pointer exception of demo. So here I am throwing, So what is the meaning of this? The null pointer exception E equal to new null pointer exception of demo. So that only throwing here, Understood that?
Okay, ma'am. Understood.
That actually here one nameless object is only created. Actually one nameless object is only created, but that nameless object is assigned to this E.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. And then next last keyword throws. So you can use this keyword throws while you write the method definition. You can use this keyword while you write the method definition. So that once if you written the method definition, that can be accessed by anyone. Once for any application, if you written any one method, then that method can be accessed by anyone. So what is the purpose of this throws means you just informing to the user this method may cause this type of exception and all. You have to handle carefully. So I'm just given instruction to user. Now while I'm writing the definition, I'm going to use the keyword throws. In the throws, I'm going to mention some exception, IO exception, null pointer exception. So from that, what I'm going to convey to user means this definition may cause this type of exception and all. While you call the function, you be aware to handle this type of functions, type of exceptions. So that's why we are using the keyword throws. So we will see one example, then it will get clear. So the throws keyword is used in method declaration in order to explicitly specify the exception that a particular method might throw. Now, where it is used, it is used in method declaration. It is used in method declaration. So what is the purpose of this one means? It is explicitly specify the exception that a particular method might throw. So if a method is capable of causing an exception that it does not handle, it must specify this behavior so that caller of the method can guard themselves against that exception. So those who are all calling the method. So what here they are telling, this method and all cause this type of exception, but there is no handling mechanism in this. There is no handling mechanism in that method. So the caller must be very careful to handle those exceptions. Okay, so caller of the method can guard themselves against that exception. So this implicitly tells, if you call me, you must handle these exceptions that I throw. So do this by including throws class in the methods declaration. So here this is the method. This is the method definition. So here type method name and then parameter list. So here throws exception list. So here I can mention several exception list, IO exception, comma, null pointer exception, comma. So many exceptions are separated by the comma. So we will see one example. Now here I have defined one function called throw method. So throw method, and then here throws null pointer exception. So throws null pointer exception means what? Actually this method may throw null pointer exception, but there is no handling mechanism in this definition. So those who are all calling this method, you have to be careful to handle these type of exception. So here what I'm telling, so this method may throw this null pointer exception. Here there is no handling mechanism. So those who are all calling this method, you have to handle this exception. Okay, so from main function, I'm calling the method throw method. But here I'm not. Here there is no error handling mechanism. But here I'm calling throw method means I should write this throw method within try block, within try catch block. Within try catch block. So otherwise, what will happen? If it is a checked exception, compiler will show error. If it is unchecked, abnormal program termination will be happen. Okay, so now it will come to here. So now it will print inside a throw method, and then here it is throwing one exception, null pointer exception, but here there is no handling mechanism. So control will come to here. So now it will print the exception get caught, and then here I'm printing that object. So now it will print null pointer exception demo. Okay, so but here I'm not written this calling method within try block. What will happen? Abnormal termination will be happen. Got it, Abba? Understood, Arapa? Yes or no,
Ma'am, ma'am, can we use throws clause in main function, ma'am? Main function is also method, ma'am. So can we use?
We can use, ma'am. We can use.
Oh, okay, ma'am.
We can use. I checked one time. Yeah, it is possible like that. If, no, again, and I will check one more time. But already I have checked it is work. But even though I will check it one more time and then I will tell you.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Ma'am, why it is printing java.lang?
Actually, this null pointer exception is available in the package lang. Lang is the sub package of Java. So java.lang.null pointer, where this class is available means it is available in the package lang.
So starting we should import or it is inbuilt, ma'am?
That lang is a default package. Lang is the default package. We no need to import it. But some exceptions are available in IO package. Some exceptions are available in IO package. For those exceptions, we need to import IO package.
Okay, ma'am.
So when we see IO class, how to get input from user, so at that time we will see those type of exception. Okay. So these are all built-in unchecked exception. These are all the built-in unchecked exception. So you just know these are all, but mostly we won't use all those exception. Only we will use that simple arithmetic exception, array index out of bound exception. So like that. But you should know what are the exceptions are available in the unchecked exception class. And then these are all built-in checked exception. So built-in checked exception. And then chained exception. So the chained exception concept was added in JDK. Up to this you understood. Today what we have seen nested try. After a nested try, we have seen that keyword throw and throws. Anybody have doubt in these three topics? Anybody have doubt in these three topics? Nested try, throw and throws. Throw means throw is used to throw the exception manually. Throws, what is the purpose of throws now? So we are giving an information to user. Those who are all calling this function, you have to handle this type of exception. Understood, Abba? Anybody have doubt in these three topics? Say yes or no, ma? No doubt. No doubt, or you have doubt, pa?
No, ma'am.
Okay, no doubt. Okay. And next is chained exception. So this chained exception is introduced from JDK 1.4. So this feature allow you to relate one exception with another exception. Actually, for example, divide by zero. Divide by zero is actually an arithmetic exception, no? But actual cost, if user give input is wrong, so because of that only that arithmetic exception is caused. So actual cause is actually here input exception. That is IO exception. Okay, so understood in arithmetic exception, A by B. If a B value is a 0 means here it will throw that exception called arithmetic exception. But actual cause is it is by giving an input. If user give B value as 0, because of that only this arithmetic exception is occurred. So actual cause is here input exception. Actual cause is here input exception. So this feature allow you to relate one exception with another exception. For example, there is one exception describe the cause of another exception. For example, arithmetic exception, that is divide by 0, actual cause, this is actual cause of exception was an IO error. So the method will throw only, but it will throw arithmetic exception. It won't throw IO exception. So it will only throw the arithmetic exception to the caller. So the caller does not know about the actual cause of exception. So by using the chained exception, we can combine the actual cause of that exception with the exception. Got it, Abba? Understood? Say yes or no, ma? Say yes or no, ma? But today no response. This and all will get confused. This topic and all.
Yes, ma'am.
It's confusing.
Confusing. This is by practice only you can get an idea. Okay, I will give you some programs for practice this exception handling. Then you will get clear. Okay, I will complete this chained exception and I will repeat one more time. Okay, I will check. From which topic you are all get confused, from starting nested try itself. Nested try is okay for you, or otherwise shall I repeat nested try also? Say yes or no?
No, ma'am.
Ma'am, nested try is okay. Can you go on to the next topic?
Nested try, okay. So what does mean by nested try means if any try block, try catch block within another try block, that is called nested try. And one more thing, if you're calling any method within try block and within that method definition also, if you have a try block, that is also called a nested try block. So if in a try block, if any exception is occurred, if there is no corresponding catch block, that can be handled by outer catch block. But outer try block, if any exception is occurred, that cannot be catched by inner catch block, inner try catch block. Okay, so this is the overall idea of nested try. So other than that, in nested try, nothing is there. Okay, and then next throw. So throw, what is the purpose of this throw keyword means? You can manually throw the exception. So now, if I write the statement B by 0, so B by 0 now, automatically the JVM itself it will throw the exception. That exception is arithmetic exception. If I write the statement B by 0 now, automatically one exception is created. So that is thrown by JVM itself. But if I am writing throw, and then new arithmetic exception, I cannot write the full name. Arithmetic exception. Actually, this is arithmetic exception. So here, what I'm doing, I have created this exception, and then I am throwing. I'm throwing explicitly. Okay, so if you want to throw any exception explicitly, that time you can use this keyword throw. So that time you can use this keyword throw. So used to explicitly throw an exception. So either you may throw checked exception or unchecked exception. So what is mean by checked and unchecked? Yesterday we have seen, no? So some statement can be identified by compiler itself. That statement may cause exception. So it immediately it will give an information to user. You should write that statement within try block. So immediately it will show an error, compile time error. You should write that statement within try block. Otherwise, you will get an exception. Like that information given. Like that the compiler will give an information to us. So that type of exception is called checked exception. But the compiler cannot identify the statement which may cause exception. So that type of exceptions are all called unchecked exception. So compiler cannot identify the statement and all will cause this type of exception. So compiler cannot identify that type of exception is called unchecked exception. So the compiler itself, it is find out some statement may cause exception. That is checked exception. Compiler cannot find out. That is unchecked exception. So here, here I am throwing manually, no? So that object. So here actually I am throwing one object. So that object should be a throwable instance. So the throwable instance means this is the super class for all the exceptions. This is the super class for all the exceptions. You cannot throw int, char, float, string like that. You can only throw the throwable instance. So this is the super class for all the exception class. This is the super class for all the exception class. So throwable. So this is the super class for all the exception class. So you can throw only that type of object. You cannot throw int, char, string like that. Okay, so that's all in this throw part. So that's all in this throw. And then what is here is just an example. You don't worry about this program. Come to throws keyword. Here, while I write a method declaration, I am giving, for example, I am writing one method. So here I am writing one method. So that this is the method name and then a type. So here you are going to mention the return type and then parameter list. So then if I use this keyword throws and then here I can mention some exception list. Okay, null pointer exception, comma, IO exception, comma, arithmetic exception. Like that means this method may throw these exception. This method may throw these exception. So those who are all calling this method, you have to handle those type of exception because here there is no handling mechanism. So by using this keyword, what I am conveying to user, this method may throw this type of exception. Those who are all calling this method, you have to handle those exception because here there is no error handling mechanism. Understood, Amma? Understood, Appa?
Yes, ma'am.
So here, implicitly what I'm telling, if you call me, you must handle these exceptions that I throw. So what this function is telling, if you call me, you must handle these exceptions that I throw because I don't have any exception handling mechanism. So do this by including a throws class in this method declaration. So what is the purpose of this throws means? I'm giving an information to user that this method going to throw this type of exception and all. So throws keyword is used in method declaration in order to explicitly specify the exception that particular method might throw. So if method is capable of causing an exception that it does not handle, so it must specify the behavior so that the caller of the method can guard themselves against that exception. Okay, Papa?
Ma'am?
Got it? Tell me, ma'am.
Ma'am, how will the user know that these are the exceptions during runtime?
Actually, during runtime, user doesn't know. For example, in Java program, to get an input from user, some function is there. If you are not using a scanner class, actually we can use scanner class to get an input, but without scanner class, we can also get the input from user. In those functions, what they have written, they are written throws IO exception. Okay, so IO exception is what? Checked exception. So when I write that statement, compiler immediately throw an error. So you should write that statement within try catch block. Because within that method definition, what they have written throws IO exception. Understood? For example, one function, simply I will tell you, one function name is called get for getting an input from user. Okay, so actually not get, we will see that later. For understanding purpose, here I am telling with a simple name. Okay, so that get method is similar to scanf. Okay, so while they are writing in the get method, they have written throws IO exception. So when I am in my program, if I use get means I should write that get function within try catch block. Because what is that IO exception type? IO exception type is what? Checked exception, no? So when I'm called the method get, the compiler itself, it will inform you this get method is throw IO exception. That is, so you should handle it. You should write that within try catch block. If it is unchecked, we cannot identify. If it is checked, compiler itself it will give an information. You should, while you call this method, you have to be right within try catch block. Understood, Amma?
Ma'am? So this will be useful for the programmers, no, ma'am? Suppose
Yes,
I know that this get will throw exception means I will keep it in try catch block. And it is predefined as throws IO exception in the JDK. I mean, where we are JRE, yes, ma'am.
Yes. It is already defined with the throws. So when it is more useful now. If it is checked exception, then compiler itself it is giving an information. You should write the statement within try catch block. Okay, if it is checked exception, this throws is more useful. Got it?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
For others, it may be a little bit confused because we are not seeing that input output operation function. No, so for others it is a little bit confused. You don't worry, we will see that later. So now you just know the purpose of the throws is enough. Okay, so later we seeing more examples. You will get clear the path. Okay, so here. I will execute one program. I thought that make you clear. Here null pointer exception. No, okay. I will execute this one. We will throw one null IO exception. So IO exception, you will get clear. IO exception. So for IO exception, you have to import the package java dot io dot import java dot io dot star. So if you are using this if you are using this IO exception class now in your program, if you are using this IO exception class, so you should import the java dot io dot star. Okay, and then throw demo. Already I have one program name with the throw demo. So now I will change that to throw demo 1, and then throw demo. Okay, throw method, throw IO exception. So inside throw method. So here I'm going to throw IO exception, and then I'm from main method. First from here I will explain. From here I'm going to handle IO exception. IO exception. So first I am calling this method. So I'm calling this throw method. So control will come to here. So here what I'm throwing IO exception. So that's why this calling method is written within try catch block. So if I'm not written this calling method within try catch block, the compiler itself it is instruct you. So this method throw method may cause this IO exception. You should write that calling statement should be within try catch block. Otherwise you will get an exception during runtime. So like that the compiler will give an information to you. But now I have written the statement calling statement within try catch block. So I won't get any error. So now it will come to here. So now inside throw method, it will print inside throw method. And then here what I'm throwing one IO exception object. So actually this function is throwing one IO exception object, but here there is no handling mechanism. So here there is no try catch block. So then that is handled by this catch block. Then it will print this one. So now I will execute this. First I save this program. Post demo 1. Reverse. Post demo 1 dot java. Maybe that may be saved as text file. Okay, and then here throw method. Okay, from here I will execute Java C throws method. Throws demo 1 dot java. So now it is compiled successfully. So now throws demo 1 means. Now first it will print inside throw method. It will print the inside throw method. Okay, inside throw method. And then next here I am throwing one exception. No, so that will come to here. So then it will print the exception get caught, and then I'm printing this object. So this object is nothing but IO exception, and then along with the colon demo will be printed. Okay, so here exception get caught Java IO exception colon demo. But now this try block is not there. If this try block is not there, try catch block is not there, I saved this program, and then now I am compiling. So now compiler itself, it is reporting unreported exception, IO exception must be caught. How the compiler will come to know about this? Here I have written this throw method throws IO exception. No, so compiler itself, it will give an information. This statement, this calling method should be within try catch block because that method may throws this type of exception. That method may throw this type of exception. So while you calling the function, you should write that within try catch block. Otherwise, you will get a runtime error. So like that, the compiler will give an information to you. So unreported exception, IO exception must be caught or declared to be thrown in throw method. Understood, Amma? Say yes or no, pa? Understood or not, pa?
Yes, ma'am.
So okay. So now today we have seen only 3 concepts: nested try, throw, and then throws. Okay. So today you just know what is the purpose of nested try and what is the purpose of throw and what is the purpose of throws. So these and all when you will get clear means when we see more programs, so that time only you will get clear. So initially it will you be confused a little bit. I can understand. I can understood. But later while we see more and more programs, you will be very clear about this concept. Now you just know what is the purpose of nested try, throw, and throws. Okay, so that you understood, that you understood or not, ma?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So the remaining thing we will see that chained exception. JDK 1.4 they have introduced one new concept, the chained exception. So that we will see in next class, ma. Okay.